What's up guys, Firebird Austin here. These are 5 lures you have to have in your tackle box this fall. If y'all have watched my channel before, y'all know I primarily do creek and river fishing, and you'll probably have a lot of success with these in ponds and lakes as well, but this is tailored towards creeks and rivers. This video is gonna be for experienced and new anglers alike. I'm also doing a giveaway, and if you wanna enter on this video, just subscribe and comment your favorite lure that I mentioned here. Starting off, this is one of my favorites, the Berkley Choppo. Now, if you look at this one, you can see it's pretty dang used here. I've caught many fish on this one. And this is the lure I always start my day on. Now, early on in the season, you'll be able to catch them all day in the fall on the Choppo. And as it starts to get colder out, the water temperature starts to drop a little bit. It'll become a middle of the day lure when the sun's right over the water. They're getting a lot of heat. That's gonna be a time to throw. Nonetheless, they will be biting on the Choppo throughout the fall. I typically throw it year round anyway, but fall always has a really good bite. Now, when it comes to throwing the Choppo, my favorite one is the Choppo 75. And the reason I like this one so much is because it's a little bit shorter, fatter, sticks up a little bit higher in the water, so it gets a much nicer chop. It's a little louder in the current, and I love to throw it right in the middle of the foam. I don't know where you guys live, but I live in the southeast, and specifically in Georgia, we have a lot of shoal bass. If y'all are from up north and you're dealing with a lot of smallmouth, or you're somewhere with a lot of spotted bass in a river, you're gonna wanna throw it right in an eddy, right where there's a current break. But with shoal bass, they love to sit right in the middle of the current, and sometimes you can catch spotted bass in those sections as well. My experience with smallmouth is they're sitting right on the edge of an eddy. The reason why I love the Choppo so much is because it's so much louder than any whopper plopper or any other plopper type lure that I've tried. And it's very consistent in its chop. It just makes the fish go crazy. Next up on my list is a jerkbait. So this right here is the Berkley Stunna, and I just started using this one recently. I've always thrown the 6 cents. This is actually my favorite 6 cents color right here. I don't even know what it is, but it's the 106 Provoke. This is a 1/2 ounce suspending jerkbait, and I throw these all the time in rivers, mostly in the spring and fall. And in the fall, the fish just go crazy for it, especially on the pause. And what I'll do is I'll pop it really quick and then let it pause for a second. And it's always right on that pause, I feel the line just go completely slack, or I'll feel a big tug. Either way, it's a very noticeable bite on those jerk baits, even when it's still. My favorite is in clear water. You can see it really well. I'm gonna throw in a clip from a dam in North Georgia where you see a smallmouth come up and just take off with it. I'm also open to trying other jerkbaits. I just like seeing what's out there. I love how jerkbaits can have a very different action depending on what style the bill is, or there's some beads inside the jerkbait. They rattle pretty loud whenever you're working it through the water. With a jerkbait, you can work it right in the middle of the current or in slack water. Typically, the slower the water, the slower I'll work the jerkbait. But if I'm throwing it in current, typically I'll pause it for like no more than a second. And a lot of times, they'll still come up and grab it right on that short little pause. Number 3 on the list is one of my newest favorite lures to use, and it's actually the Cast Prodigy. This is the 3-inch Prodigy right here. As you can see, I've been tearing through these. They last for multiple fish. They don't tear very easily, despite being a soft plastic. They're very durable. I'm pretty sure they were started here in Georgia. Don't quote me on that. I know that I can find them at my local tackle shop, but as far as their online store goes, you better buy them quick because they run out quick, man. But go and check them out on social media platforms. I also have some of the 4-inch right here, and this is actually the lure that I caught most of my fish on whenever I placed high in the Shoaly-Palooza tournament earlier this year when I fished the Flint River for some big shoal bass. Caught my PB during the tournament, and I actually caught the PB on the lure I'm going to talk about next. But the thing I love so much about these Prodigies is there's different ways to rig them. You can either put a circle hook through the face and a nail weight in the belly. There's actually a little slot for them in the middle. Or you can put a jig head through them. I like to use Z-Man jig heads. You can use whatever you prefer. It doesn't matter. The biggest thing about these is actually the action of the tail. This one's actually been heated in the sun. Whatever they did to design these lures, it just makes the tail wag in such a way where it looks so realistic in the water. The fish just go crazy for it. You can fish them in different ways. You can just rip them through the water. You can do a straight retrieve. You can pop it while you're retrieving like a jerkbait, or you can drop it down like a drop shot and the fish will still go for it. You can use these in so many different ways, no matter what the water depth is or the speed of the water, you can always use the Cast Prodigy in whatever application, and it's gonna excel. You're gonna catch fish on it. Number 4 on my list is a Ned rig. So this right here is a Nico Helgermite. The thing about the Ned rig is you can just throw them out on light tackle and you'll get fish of any size eating them. I caught my PB shoal bass in the Shoaly-Palooza tournament on a Ned rig, and actually on a Guggen baits of all things. I know Guggen gets a lot of hate, but I actually really love their Ned rigs because they have a little rattle in them. Now, I can only catch one fish before they rip, but they do get bit pretty quick. With that rattle, it helps them stand out in the water. But when it comes to the Nico Helgermite, I've literally caught over 70 bass on one of these soft plastics before. They don't rip. I can sit here and stretch this like a Z-Man diesel minnow if y'all ever use those. But look at this, I'm holding my rod right now by this Nico Helgermite. And it's not ripping. But no, I'm telling you, you can never go wrong with those Ned rigs. I actually fish my Ned rigs pretty fast. Some people like to throw trick worms on them. A lot of my friends Texas rig their trick worms, but I actually really enjoy throwing my trick worms on a Ned head. For Ned heads, I actually just go with a lot of different brands, whatever's available, whatever's cheaper. And so you can just kind of pick and choose with what you prefer for Ned heads with different weights. I have no real preference in weight as long as it's not like way too big. I don't think it matters too much. But the thing is, you can fish them slow, you can fish them fast. Fish just want them, man. They go crazy for them. And last but not least, this is probably the most versatile lure as far as species goes. It is specifically the trout, the brown trout colored rooster tail. And you can see this one's a little beat up. Now these rooster tails here, I can throw them for days, the same one. The only time I lose a rooster tail is if either get snagged in a tree somehow, or it rusts out because I've had it for so long, or my line snaps. Like these rooster tails will last so long. And the thing about them too is that blade spinning, I really don't know what it is, to be honest. I just know it catches fish. I don't know exactly what gets these fish going, but I have clip after clip after clip of big fish biting these rooster tails. I've caught some big shoal bass. I've caught bass over 3 pounds on rooster tails on the 1/16 ounce. That's my favorite size, the 1/16 ounce brown trout rooster tail. I'll link all of these lures in the description below so you can go check them out for yourself. You 100% need all 5 of these lures in your bag this fall because they will get bit. I'm telling you, whenever the bite slows down on any of the bigger lures, throw a Ned, and if that's not working, then throw the rooster tail and you will get fish. No matter the conditions, man. Seriously, that's what I do, unless the water's chocolate milk. But I don't think anyone's really trying to fish when the water looks like chocolate milk anyway. And y'all, I know I said I was gonna do 5 lures, but I'm gonna throw a bonus one in for y'all, okay? If any of you like to target striped bass, this is my go-to. This is a Strike King Sexy Dog. I actually had to replace the front hook with a Gamakatsu treble hook. And it's even bent because some of these stripers get so crazy going for these things that after a while, I had one actually break the O-ring. And Strike King makes a great product. I think I just had my drag too tight and the fish was really big. But that's only happened once, and I've been using these things for so long. This is the first one I ever bought, and I've yet to lose it. I have 3 of them now. But these things are crazy. I'm gonna throw in some clips of me catching some big old striped bass on these, and you'll see how crazy the bass go for these. They cannot resist it. Now, a lot of times I'm casting really far, so it might be a little hard to see. The thing about the Strike King Sexy Dog is I just work this lure as fast as I can, just popping it over and over, and it shoots back and forth across the water. And I actually throw this year round. And I cannot wait to throw it this fall and see what kind of stripe. I'm actually going to be using it this Saturday. So stay tuned for that video because it's going to come out way after this. And it'll be in Alabama. But you'll see striper after striper just nailing this. Sometimes even hitting it 4 feet out of the water because they're just so aggressive on these walking baits. Now, if y'all have any other lures that y'all prefer, over the ones I've mentioned, please let me know in the comments and I will be sure to try them out. Not that any other lure doesn't work, but these are the 5 that I strongly recommend y'all use this fall. Get out there, let me know how you do with them. Anyway, guys, if this video helped you out at all, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, let me know. But thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to see any of the videos of me using these lures any time of the year, click here, or right down here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to see me using all these lures in all my videos, because these are really just my top 5 favorite lures, and I'm gonna be throwing them all fall. So thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you next time.